Hello everyone, hope you're doing great and welcome back to another Learn PowerShell with Fun series. And this is going to be fifth chapter and we are going to talk about the aliases, and that's the nicknames for the commandlets. So let's get started. Usual introduction. So even though PowerShell commandlets are nice and easy to read and understand, sometimes they will be very too long to type. So let's take this one for instance, get-item property value. Looking at this, you can guess what it does, but it's too long to type. So that's when aliases come into picture, and we can give them nicknames. And get-item property value will be like, nickname? Do I have a nickname? For now, you don't have, but we can definitely give you one. So let's use the help system to find out all the commandlets related to alias. So how do you do that? Yes, perfectly. Using help space star alias. So this will get all the commandlets which ending with the alias. So we have Export-Alias, Get-Alias, Import-Alias, New-Alias and Set-Alias. And in this video, we're going to talk about each one of them with examples. So let's dive in. So first thing, get-alias, and in the bracket you see gal. And what is gal? So gal is the alias name for the get-alias. Yeah, even they do have the alias names. So let's talk about the get-alias now. So first thing, usual, use the help system to find out the syntax. And if you look at this one, you have alias section separately, just like we have name and syntax. So in the aliases section, you will see the alias name for the particular commandlet. And for your information, not all the commandlets have the alias name. So only some of them have, and for the rest of them, if you wish, we can create. So getting back to this, so get-alias will get all the existing alias available. So let's take a look. Get-alias, I hit enter, and if you look at it, see, there are many aliases already available. Just for your information, I'll just, oops, there is something called measure object, and the measure object's alias name is measure. So this will give you the complete count of how many aliases we have for all those certain commandlets. So if you look at here, we have 159 aliases, and if we take a look at get command, which brings all the commandlets available in PowerShell right now, and I'll go with measure, and you see 3262. This is Windows 11, and it has the latest patches, everything. So right now we have more than 3000 commandlets, but when you look at the alias, we only have very minimal things, because not all the commandlets needs alias, and if we need, we can create them as I mentioned before. So I'll get back, and now let's look at some examples. So get-alias, and I'm giving the name parameter, which is GPS, and the output I got, like the GPS is the alias for the commandlet get process. But we are all new and we are newly learning this alias, so you may not know the existing alias names already. So what you will have in your mind is, you know the commandlet, but you don't know the alias name which was assigned to that. So in order to find the alias name for a particular commandlet, then you can use this get-alias definition, and the input for the definition parameter will be the commandlet that you want to find the alias for. So if you see, we are using the get-alias definition get process, and you will find GPS and also PS. And that's right, one commandlet can have multiple alias names. And also when you look at the second screenshot here, I just directly went with gal GPS because we already know the alias for Get-Alias is gal. And when you look at the syntax, the name parameter is covered with the square brackets, so which means it's positional, so we don't need to mention it. So I just directly went with GPS. And the reason why we got the output as soon as we hit the get-alias is, anyone can guess? Okay, if you guessed it correctly, and when you look at the syntax, there is no mandatory parameter here. And mandatory parameter is both parameter and the value should not be covered with the square brackets. So here we don't have any mandatory parameters, so that's why we got the output directly without mentioning any other parameter or values. So that's all about it. Let's move to the new alias. So we're gonna create aliases here, and the usual, you'll go with help new alias, understand the syntax, and you will also see the alias name for the new alias is null. So I'll directly go with null, and I'm using the name parameter, and I'm giving the alias name as gel, and value is gonna be the commandlet, which is get-event log. So I have created it in the first line, and in the second line I'm just typing gal as in get-alias and gel, and you see I got get-event log here. So that's simple. And I have a surprise for you. So we can create new aliases not only for just commandlets, we can create aliases for the executables as well. If you look at here, I'm creating the new alias which is named np, and the value I gave the executable path of the notepad.txt. And as soon as I created, and when I mentioned np and hit enter, I got the notepad. See, that's a surprise for you. So you can create the aliases for commandlets as well as for the executable files. And one more note, if you want, you can even create multiple aliases for the same commandlet. Maybe I'll just show you in the example. So now the name I'll give maybe nn, and the value C Windows Notepad.exe, and now I just type nn. Ta-da! And again I'm gonna create another one, maybe notepad as an nd, and if I type nd, still I get it. And now if I go ahead and use gal and the definition C Windows Notepad, and see I have two aliases that we just created, nn also there and nd also there, and both works. So that's about it. So let's get back to our slide, and the new one is going to be Set-Alias, and the alias name for Set-Alias is going to be cell. So are you ready to change the world? Okay, if you're not ready to change the world, we can change the alias name for the existing commandlets too. So help Set-Alias, and you can see the alias name here as cell, and this is all the syntax, and that you, if you take a look, name parameter is covered with the square bracket, so it's positional, and the value also covered with square bracket, so that's also positional, so we don't need to write the parameter name. However, the both name parameter and the value parameter, these are not completely covered with the square brackets, so that means these are all mandatory ones. So in the previous section we were creating the alias name for get event log as gel, and now I changed my mind. So let's use the gel alias. Instead of get event log, we can use the gel for the get event. So that's when I use set alias name gel, and in the value field, instead of get event log, I gave get event. And now if I go ahead and type gal with gel, you can see the get event instead of get event log. So you can use the set alias to modify, or you can change the particular alias name for different commandlets. So take a look at the second one. So get alias definition set clipboard. So for set clipboard, the existing alias name is scp, and now I want to change the name also. So set alias name, I'm giving the clip. So instead of scp, I want to use clip for the same commandlet. And now I type clip space cam, and whatever I have typed here, so set clipboard as in just it will copy whatever we type in the clipboard, and when I right click I get cam. So I'll just show you this real quick. CLS gal definition set clipboard. See, I already set this. So if I type clip and blah 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 and hit enter, and now I'm just right click. See, so just like this you can take the alias name and then you can set it for any different commandlets, or you can even create the new, or modify the existing one also. So that's all about Set-Alias. Let's go with Export-Alias. Yeah. Slowly, carefully we can export them too. And for your information, accept the default aliases, whatever the new alias that you create, or the new modifications that you're making with the alias, that is only stays in your current PowerShell window, PowerShell session. And once you have closed that window, and when you open the new one, then it will not be there. So for example, say for get definition clipboard, we have these two now. I'll just exit out of it and I'll open PowerShell once again. And now if I go with gal def, truncate the parameters, you don't need to type the complete definition, you can just enough so that PowerShell will come to know what you meant to type. And set clipboard. See, we have only scp now. In the previous session we created the clip, and as soon as I have closed the PowerShell session, it will be gone. So that's when the Export-Alias comes into picture. So export alias path c temp my alias.csv. Cool. So now I will exit. So we have if I go to c temp, I see my alias csv here. Okay, now let's go to the next section, which is Import-Alias, and it's ipal, whatever. Okay, so usual thing, you'll go with the help Import-Alias. You see the alias name here and the syntax here, so you understand the syntax. Then so Get-Alias. So here I went with gel and the existing screenshot, but anyway, all same concepts. So Get-Alias gel, and it will show that this command cannot find a matching alias because an alias with the name gel does not exist. And when we use the import alias to import the file that we exported in the previous slide, it will be imported, and now when you use the get alias gel, you get it. So that's all for the import alias. I know it's not that cool enough to get the clapping from the Joker, but it still does. So next we have parameter alias. So not only commandlets have alias, yes, even parameters in the commandlet also have aliases. I know that will be surprising. So how can you find it? Simple, do help commandlet full. And if we take a look at here, I just went with help get service full. And when you look at the parameter section, for the computer name parameter, you see alias is cn. So get service spooler, instead of the computer name, I given cn and localhost. See, I got it. And again, not all the parameters will have the aliases, so don't be disappointed. Only some of them will have and some of them will not have. So that's all about the parameter aliases. And next thing is for you, so try out yourself. So these are all like homeworks, because in the last sessions I did not give you guys any homework, but I thought giving the homework and letting you guys trying out yourself will make you remember the things and you will understand more clearly. So you have to find the aliases for the get content, get service, get command, copy item and remove item. And you have to create aliases for get property value, because get item property value doesn't have the aliases by default. So you're going to create one, and create for test net connection and get PS drive, and modify the existing alias for start service, rename item, get location, and then export all the newly created aliases, close the PowerShell window and open the new window and import all the newly created aliases. And once you have done this, let me know your answers in the comment section below. So if there is any doubts you have, you can also let me know. I will clear all your doubts in the comment section below. Guys, there is one more thing I want to highlight is you can use the n number of aliases for yourself. But if you are creating a big script and which is going to be shared with other people, then it is recommended to use the proper commandlet, because not all the people will know the aliases that you created and they will not understand when they are looking at your script. So hope you understand. And that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for learning. Take care of yourself and have a great day. Bye bye.